Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the mandible. In the mandible, we see under the following heads. First is the terminology, and second is the peculiarities of the mandible. Like we have the clavicle peculiarities are present. Same here also peculiarities are present. Then body, the mandible having the two parts. One is the body, and second is the ramus. In that body, we are seeing the external surface and the internal surface. Two surfaces are present. So I will explain one by one. And after that, we are seeing two borders also: upper border and the lower border. This is the body, and this part is called a ramus. Body having the two surfaces: external surface, internal surface, upper border, and the lower border. So first, we are seeing the terminology. Terminology in the Greek, it is called a mandate, means it is called as a mastication. We are using for the eating, that is called a mastication. And in the Latin word, we call it a mandible. Mandible means it is called the lower jaw, skeleton, lower jaw. So, what are the peculiarities here? The bone is the mandible is the U-shaped bone. Clear? And the mandible is the longest and the strongest bone in the face. Longest, strongest bone in the face. And it forms the lower facial skeleton. So next, body. The body having the two surfaces, external surface and the internal surface. We are seeing the diagram, this is the external surface and that side is the internal surface. And two borders, this border is called as a upper border and this border is the lower border of the mandible. In the external surface, we see the features of the external surface. In the external surface, midline, a faint ridge is present. A faint ridge is present in the midline that we call as a symphysis menti. The name is the symphysis menti. Means two half of the mandibles are together in the midline. That is called a faint ridge is the symphysis menti. Below that part, we are seeing one triangular area. The triangular area name is called as a mental protuberance. So triangle, this is upper angle, both are the lower angles. The upper angle present in the lower end of the symphysis menti. Clear? Then next, mental tubercles. The lower angles, either side of the lower angles are present. In the lower angles, there is a bony tubercles are present. These are small bony tubercles. That tubercles name is called as a mental tubercles. Next point is the mental foramina. Here we have in the teeth are present. These four are the incisors. These two are the canines, and these are the premolars. So, below the second premolar or the junction between the two premolars, there is a one foramina is present. That foramina name is called the mental foramina. In this mental foramina, mental nerve and the mental vessels are the passes. And last, not last, next is called incisive fossa. Here the incisor teeth are present. Below the incisor teeth, there is a fossa is present. That fossa name is called the incisive fossa. In this incisive fossa, two muscles get attached here. One is called this one. See here. This is the mentalis. And above here in this part, we are seeing the orbicularis oris. Two muscles get attached in the incisive fossa. Next is the oblique line. Oblique line is a continuation of the anterior border of the ramus of the mandible in the upper part. In the lower part, it reaches to the just below the mental foramina. In this oblique line, three muscles get attached. One is the here you can see this is called a depressor labii inferioris, and second one this is called a depressor anguli oris, and third one is the buccinator. So three muscles attached from the anteriorly to the posteriorly in the oblique line. The next part is the internal surface. See, internal surface. Now we completed in the external side. Clear? Now I am cutting from in this place. I am showing the medial surface. This is called the internal surface, and this is the lateral surface of one half. See, this is the medial surface. Sorry, this is the internal surface of the body of the mandible. So this mylohyoid line begins behind the third premolar teeth and it is descending downward direction, reach to the below one fossa. That fossa present here, fossa name is called as a digastric fossa. Clear? And this mylohyoid line, one muscle get attached in the mylohyoid line. That muscle name is called as mylohyoid muscle. Same name, mylohyoid muscle. And this mylohyoid line divided this body into the anterior superior part, posterior inferior part. Anterior superior part we call as a sublingual part. Sublingual. And posterior inferior part we call as a submandibular part. So it is a demarcation between the submandibular and the sublingual. So in the submandibular area, one lymph node are present, submandibular salivary lymph node, and one artery. That artery is the facial artery, and submandibular gland is present. These three structures present in the here. And this is a sublingual. Here the only one structure is present. That is called a sublingual salivary gland. So this is about these two areas, sublingual area and the submandibular area. Now next, you can see in the inner surface. See here is a small elevations are present, bony elevations. Here two elevations are present. These elevations name are the genial tubercles. Above one is called as superior genial tubercle and below is called as inferior genial tubercles. These genial tubercles, above one is attached to one muscle. That muscle name is called as genoglossus. Geno means from here to the gloss means the tongue. Genoglossus. Second one attached from here to the hyoid bone. Genohyoid muscle. So this is about the genial tubercles. The next, in this part, so small one muscle get inserted here. That is called as here attachment of the superior constrictors of the pharynx. It is a muscle, superior constrictor muscle. The muscle attached behind the third premolar teeth. And next, one nerve is related, lingual nerve, between the mylohyoid line and the superior constrictor. In this space, in between this space, the one nerve is related. That nerve name is the lingual nerve. So this is about the body having the external surface. In the external surface, we completed the symphysis mentae and mental protuberance and mental tubercles and mental foramina and incisive fossa and oblique line. In the external side, come to about the internally mylohyoid line. Above mylohyoid line is the sublingual area, below is the submandibular area, and here is the genial tubercles, attachment of the superior constrictors of the pharynx and the lingual nerve. So two surfaces are finished. Now let's talk about the borders. This border name is called upper border and this border is called the lower border. Upper border also called as the alveolar part of the mandible. So in this part, in this upper border, it's showing the sockets. See, these are the sockets. These are the sockets for the permanent teeth as well as the milk teeth. So these sockets are single, or otherwise it is divided into the 2 or 3 by the septas. Now next, this border is the lower border. The lower border. It is also called the base of the mandible. In this base of the mandible, near the midline, see here is the near the midline, you can see 2 small fossas are present. See, one fossa and second fossa. 2 fossas are present. This 2 fossas name is called as a digastric fossas. And the inferior border or the base of the mandible entirely attachment of the one fascia. That fascia name is called a investing layer of deep cervical fascia. In the neck region, in this place, we are having the investing layer is present. That investing layer is attached to the base of the mandible. And outer margin of the same, in this base, outer margin, one more muscle get attached. That muscle is called as a platysma. Means investing layer attached to the inner side and outer side attaching of the platysma. So this is about the body of the mandible. Now next come to about the ramus. In the ramus, 2 surfaces, 4 borders and 2 processes. 2 surfaces are the lateral surface and the medial surface, and 4 borders, upper border, lower border, anterior border, posterior border. And process are the 2 process. One is called as the coronoid process and second one is called as condylar process. So first we are seeing the one by one. This is a lateral view of the ramus of the mandible, and this is the medial side of the ramus of the mandible. Now come to the lateral side of the ramus. Nothing else. Lateral side, only 2 are the related here. One is called as in the upper part, here is the one gland is related. That gland is called a parotid gland, and the lower part, rest of the part is the attached front of the one muscle, that is called insertion of the muscle is the masseter. So you can easily remember this is called as the lateral side. Here is the parotid gland and here is the masseter. And now come to about the medial surface. This is the medial surface. In the medial surface, we are seeing the mandibular foramina and lingula and mylohyoid groove. See here. Here is the one foramina. That foramina name is called as the mandibular foramina. It is present in the center of the ramus of mandible. And when we going, it leads. It is inside. It leads to forms a one canal. That canal name is called as the mandibular canal. So initially here is the mandibular foramina. It leads inner side, forms a canal. That canal is called the mandibular canal. That canal is open outside as a mental foramina. Is it clear? Now the mandibular foramina, one structure is processed. That is the inferior alveolar nerve and vessels. These structures are passing through this mandibular foramina. Then entering into the mandibular canal. Now once it entering into the canal, it passes out through the mental foramina. Now here we call as a mental nerve and the mental vessels. Initially is the inferior alveolar nerve. Once it passes out through the mental foramina, then we call as a mental nerve and the mental vessels. This is about the mandibular foramen. And next is called as a lingula. Lingula means anterior side. There is a tongue-shaped projection is present. See, this is a tongue-shaped projection. In the mandibular foramina, anterior aspect, there is a small bony tongue-shaped projection is present. That tongue-shaped projection name is called as a lingula. Here, one ligament is attached. That ligament is extending from the sphenoid bone to the mandible. So, spino-mandibular ligament that is attached to the here. And below that part, below the mandibular foramina, there is a groove is present. See, this is the groove. The groove name is called as a mylohyoid groove. In this mylohyoid groove, mylohyoid nerve and the vessels are passes. And rest of the medial surface in the lower part, there is a one muscle get attached. That muscle name is called as a medial pterygoid. Here is a masseter. Here is a medial pterygoid. This is about the medial surface of the ramus of mandible. Two surfaces are completed. One is the lateral surface. This one is the lateral surface, and this is the medial surface. Now come to about the borders. This border is the anterior border, upper border, posterior border, and the inferior border. First we see about the upper border. Here is the upper border. The upper border anteriorly is continuation with the anterior border, posteriorly continuation with the posterior border. And it shows the one notch. The anterior border is converted into the notch. That notch name is called a mandibular notch. Here, one artery and nerves are the crosses. It crossing here. That artery nerve is called a mesenteric nerve and a mesenteric vessels. And let's come to about the inferior border or lower border. This lower border above continuation with the posterior border, and below is continuation with the base of the mandible. So it forms an angle. This is called an angle. The angle is called as the angle of mandible. The lower border forms the angle of the mandible. Now come to the anterior border. See, this is the anterior border. Nothing else. Anterior border. Anterior border above we have the bony projection is present. That bony projection name is called as a coronoid process. And below it is continuation as a oblique line. Here only one muscle get inserted, that is a temporalis. This is a temporalis. In the medial side, down with the lateral side. Temporalis. So anterior border is finished. Now last we come to about the posterior border. Posterior border above is a forms the one bony projection that is called as a condylar process. And below it is a continuation with the lower border or inferior border of the mandible, and this border related to the parotid gland. Now come to next. Let's we discuss about the two processes. One process is called the coronoid process. Second one is the condylar process. This is the coronoid process. Coronoid process is a bony projection, anterior continuation with the anterior border, posterior continuation with the upper border. One muscle get inserted. That muscle is called temporalis. This is about the coronoid process. Now condylar process. This condylar process is important. The condylar process having the head and the neck. Two parts are. The condylar process, this is called a head and below part is called as a neck. The head is compressed from the anterior to the posteriorly, means it expanding the side to side. And below part is called as the neck of the mandible. In this neck, lateral side, one ligament attached. This is the lateral part. The ligament name is called as the lateral temporomandibular ligament. And medial side, it's not exactly medial, it is the anterior side. You see in the anterior here is the one depression is present. This is a depression. That depression name is called pterygoid fovea. In this pterygoid fovea, lateral pterygoid muscle is inserted. See, This is the lateral pterygoid, and this one is the medial pterygoid. Lateral pterygoid मतलब inserted into the pterygoid fovea. Medial surface, above is the one nerve and below is the one artery. Above one is called auriculotemporal nerve and below is the artery, that is the maxillary artery. Now we are saying about the age changes in the mandible. So how we are identified if any bone is available? So we are identified in the old age, or children, or adults. So based on only 4 points, remember only 4 points. First point, here the alveolar part is present. The alveolar part or upper border for the, here the permanent teeth and along with the milk teeth. And next, second point, the angle of the mandible is 140 degrees in children. And come to the third point, coronary process, condylar process. Coronary process is above level than the condylar process. And fourth point, medial side, we are seeing the mandibular foramina. Am I correct? The mandibular foramina leads to the mandibular canal, and this is called as mental foramina. This all the structures, mandibular foramina, mandibular canal, and mental foramina, all are the near to the lower border in the children. Now talk about the adults. In the adults, same 4 points. Alveolar part for the only permanent teeth. Clear? And next, the angle is the 110 degrees. Coronary process, here is the condylar process is higher than the coronary process. And the fourth point, the mandibular foramina, mandibular canal, and the mental foramina, these all are located in the center of the body and the ramus in the adults. And the third is the old age. In the old age, same. Here the all teeth are absorbed. There is no teeth. That's why this is completely the absorbed the superior border. There is no sockets for the permanent teeth and the milk. No sockets. Second point, the angle is the 140 degrees. And coronary process is the higher than the condylar process. Clear? But the mandibular foramina, mandibular canal, and the mental foramina are near to the upper border. You can see this is the very identified feature. It is present in the lower border, near lower border in the children, center in the adults, upper border in the old age. This is about the age changes in the mandible. Now let's we see in the practically. The mandible we call as a Latin word is mandible, and the Greek is called a mander, and the shape is the U shape in structure, and is the hardest and strongest bone in the face, and it is we called as the lower facial skeleton. And the mandible having the two body and the ramus. This one is the body, and this could be the ramus. The body having the two surfaces, outer surface, inner surface, and two borders, upper border and the lower border. First we talk about the external surface. In the external surface, midline one faint ridge is present in this place, that is called as symphysis menti. It is a two of the mandibles are get attached in the here. It forms a one faint ridge. That region name is called as symphysis menti. And the lower part we are seeing the triangular area. That triangular area name is called as a mental protuberance. And either side of the mental protuberance, two elevations are present. Tubercles. This is one tubercle and second tubercle. The tubercle name is called as a mental tubercles. And next is the mental foramina. Below the second premolar teeth or between the two premolar teeth, there is a one foramina is present. That foramina name is called as mental foramina. In this one, mental nerves and the mental vessels are passes. And here is the incisor teeth are present in this place. Below the incisor teeth, here is a fossa is present. This fossa name is the incisive fossa. Incisive fossa, one muscle, two muscles get attached. One is called a mentalis. Second one is the orbicularis oris. And oblique line. See, anterior border of the ramus continuationally forms the oblique line. The oblique line reach to the lower border of the mental foramina. So, in this oblique line, three muscles get attached from the anterior to the posterior. One is the depressor labii inferioris, depressor anguli oris, and third one is called a buccinator. This is about the external surface of the mandible. Now come to about the internal surface. See, this is called the internal surface of the body of the mandible. There is a one line is present. This line name is called as a mylohyoid line. It is start behind the it beginning behind the third premolar teeth and reach to the, there is a fossas are present. These fossas name is called as a digastric fossas. Reach to up to the digastric fossas. Here is the one muscle get attached, that is called a mylohyoid muscle. This mylohyoid line divided this area into the upper part is called as a sublingual and lower part is called as a submandibular. Here is submandibular salivary gland and submandibular gland and facial artery is related. Here is a sublingual gland is related. Then next, we can see small tubercles are present, bony tubercles, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. These are called as the superior genial tubercle and below one is called as the inferior genial tubercle. Here is the one muscle get attached, it is called as genioglossus and it is called as geniohyoid muscle. And behind the third molar teeth, in this place superior constrictor attached. Superior constrictors and a mylohyoid line, in this place one nerve is crosses, that is called as a lingual nerve. Lingual nerve is related in this place. So this is about the internal surface of the body of the mandible. Now upper border or alveolar border. This is the alveolar border. In the alveolar border, it's showing the sockets. These all are the sockets. Sockets for the milk teeth and sockets for the permanent teeth. There are single sockets are present, and also the sockets are divided by into septa. Here is there, septa is there inside. So the premolar and the molar teeth, the sockets are divided by into the septa, and the incisor and canines are having the single sockets are present. So this is about the upper border, and this part is called as the lower border of the body. The lower border also we call as the base of the mandible. In this base of the mandible, outer surface attachment of the one muscle, that is called a platysma, and the inner surface we have in the attachment of the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia. In this base, see, in this base 1 and 2, these are called as a digastric fossas. In the digastric fossas, anterior belly of the digastric muscle get attached. This is about completely body of the mandible. Now ramus having the lateral surface, medial surface, anterior border, posterior border, upper border and lower border. Coronoid process, condylar process. Lateral surface, nothing is else. Here is the one gland is related, parotid gland, and lower part is the rough area, completely rough area for the muscle, that is a masseter. And medial surface, here is the one foramina is present. That foramina name is called as a mandibular foramina. The mandibular foramina is present in the center of the ramus of the mandible, and the mandibular foramina leads to forms a mandibular canal. This canal is open into the anteriorly in the mental foramina. So anteriorly to the mandibular foramina, there is a one tongue shape projection is present. The bony projection name is called as a lingula. Here is the one ligament, that ligament is called as spinomandibular ligament. Now next is the below the mandibular foramina groove is present. That groove name is called as mylohyoid groove. See, this is the groove. In the mylohyoid groove, mylohyoid nerves and the vessels are the passes. Below the mylohyoid groove, this area, rough area for the attachment of the medial pterygoid. So this is about the lateral surface and the medial surface. And upper border we call as a mandibular notch. Anteriorly the continuation with the coronoid process, posteriorly continuation with the condylar process. Few vessels are crosses here. Those are the masseteric nerve and the vessels. Upper border. And the lower border. The lower border continuationally anteriorly with the base of the mandible and posteriorly with the posterior border. So here it forms an angle, that is called an angle of the mandible. The lower border forms the angle of the mandible. Now anterior border, nothing else, it is sharpest border, it is continuation as an oblique line, and here one muscle get inserted, that is called a temporalis. Now posterior border, above with the condylar process and below with the angle of the mandible. Only one relation is present, that is a parotid gland. Now come to about the two process. This process name is called the coronoid process and this is the condylar process. Coronoid process is the sharp projection, anterior continuation with the anterior border and the upper border. One muscle get inserted, temporalis. T means the temporal, indicates the temporalis. And this is called as a, see this one. This one is called as a condylar process. The condylar process having the head and below the constrictor part is called, this part is called as the neck. The head is expanded side to side and below constrictor part is the neck. Neck having the lateral surface, medial surface and anterior surface and the posterior surface. Lateral surface, one ligament that is called the lateral ligament of the temporomandibular joint. And the medial surface, in this place one nerve passes above and one artery passes below. The nerve name is called as a mandibular nerve, artery name is called, nerve is called a auriculotemporal nerve and artery is called as a masseteric artery. And anterior surface it showing the one fossa. That fossa name is called as a pterygoid fovea or pterygoid fossa. In this one muscle get inserted, that muscle is called a lateral pterygoid muscle. And already we are seeing the age changes in the mandible, and theoretically go through your books. If you have any doubt, ask me.